They say that what belongs to you will never pass you by, and what does not belong to you will burn your hands if you try to hold it by force. This is the story of two sisters, identical in face but opposites in spirit. This is the story of how greed booked a first-class ticket to disgrace. In the bustling town of Ibadan lived the Fijabi twins, identical, but not in every way. First, there was Olamiposi. Olamiposi was the kind of girl who would greet the gateman with the same respect she gave the landlord. She was a nurse at the general hospital, hardworking and gentle.
Mama, you have headache? Father, touch my mama, take away this pain, give her rest. Mama, drink this pepper soup, make you sweat and well. By tomorrow that malaria go fear you run away.
It smells wonderful.
She was the pride of her parents. Then there was Olamide. If Olamiposi was cool water, Olamide was kerosene waiting for a match. Olamide believed that work was for people who were cursed. She spent her days on Instagram and TikTok, following celebrities and shouting God when at every picture of a private jet. She was a slay queen without a kingdom. While Olamiposi wore her nurse's uniform with dignity, Olamide wore clothes that gave the elders high blood pressure. They were identical. If they stood still and closed their mouths, you could not tell who was who. But the moment they spoke, the difference was clear. Olamiposi spoke with wisdom. Olamide spoke with attitude. The trouble started when Dr. Femi met Olamiposi online. Dr. Femi was a Nigerian veterinarian based abroad. He was a quiet, humble man who was looking for a wife with a good heart. He didn't want a slay queen who only loved his money. He wanted a partner. He and Olamiposi had been talking for 6 months. They video called every night. Olamiposi fell in love with his kindness, and Femi fell in love with her simplicity. Olamide, of course, was jealous.
I don't know what you are doing with that man. Video call this, video call that. For what? 6 months. Not even a phone. He is a doctor abroad, and he is video calling you while you are wearing that ragged wrapper. It's comfortable. If it were me, I would have asked him for an iPhone 15 by now. Olamide, Femi is a good man. We talk about the future, not phones. Future does not buy wigs. You are wasting a golden ticket.
But Olamide didn't know how golden the ticket was
until
the courier package arrived. It was a Tuesday afternoon when the DHL van pulled up to their compound. The delivery man handed a thick envelope to Olamiposi.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is from London.
Yes, go ahead, open it.
Olamide watched like a hawk as Olamiposi opened it. Inside, there was a passport with a fresh visa, a plane ticket, and a letter.
He has done it. Femi has arranged everything. We are getting married next month. The flight is for this Saturday. Saturday? That is in 2 days. He paid for everything? Spousal visa? Olamiposi, do you know how much this costs? You are going to the UK. He lives in a very quiet place. He says it is peaceful. I can't wait to be his wife.
Olamide looked at the passport. The photo was Olamiposi. But because they were identical twins, it looked exactly like Olamide. A dark, wicked thought planted itself in Olamide's mind.
Why should Olamiposi, who has no fashion sense, go and enjoy the Queen's land? Olamiposi would just go there and be cooking soup. I am the one made for the soft life. I am the one who knows how to dress for winter fashion. I am the one who deserves the dollars and pounds. Congratulations, sister. We must celebrate. I'll handle dinner. Don't worry. You need to rest before your journey. Thank you, sister. That is very kind.
If only she knew that the kindness was a trap. That evening, Olamide ordered jollof rice, since she can't cook. She also ordered Olamiposi's favorite drink, zobo, chilled with plenty of ice. But inside Olamiposi's cup, Olamide had crushed 4 powerful sleeping tablets she had bought from the chemist.
Drink, sister, to your new life abroad. To our family. When I get there, I will make sure I send for you. You will not be sending for anybody, because you are not going anywhere.
30 minutes later, Olamiposi was slumped on the sofa, snoring heavily. Olamide moved quickly. She dragged her sister into the storeroom at the back of the house, a room they rarely used, filled with old yams and dusty boxes. She laid Olamiposi on a mat and locked the heavy padlock from the outside. Then, the transformation began. Olamide went to Olamiposi's room. She packed the suitcase Olamiposi had prepared. She took the passport. She took the ticket. She even took the engagement ring Femi had sent. She looked at herself in the mirror. She washed off her heavy makeup. She tied her hair back in a simple bun, just like Olamiposi. She wore Olamiposi's modest dress. Olamide said, "Mirror, mirror,
Mirror,
on the
mirror
wall.
on the wall. Who is the new Mrs. Femi?
Mrs. Femi?
It is me.
It is me." She told their parents early the next morning that Olamide had gone to visit an aunt in the next village to cool her head because she was jealous. The parents, used to Olamide's drama, believed the lie. They hugged the fake Olamiposi and blessed her journey.
Go well, my daughter. Greet Femi for us. I will, Mama. I will enjoy Femi very well.
At the international airport in Lagos, Olamide was nervous. When the immigration officer looked at the passport and then at her heart hammered against her ribs. Olamiposi Fijabi? The officer asked. Yes, sir, Olamide said, lowering her eyes shyly, mimicking her sister. The officer stamped it.
Thank you.
Safe journey. Olamide wanted to scream with joy. She was through. She walked to the boarding gate like she owned the place. She took a selfie, but didn't post it yet. She didn't want anyone to track her until she was safely in the white man's land. She looked at the boarding pass. The destination code was HEL.
Hell? Maybe that is short for a city near London. Or maybe Helsinki? That is in Europe. Europe is Europe. As long as there is snow and dollars, I am fine.
She boarded the plane. It was a long flight with a connection in Frankfurt, Germany. Olamide drank the free wine. She ate the plain food like a queen. She dreamt of the shopping she would do. She planned how she would tell Femi that she had changed a little bit, that she was now more outgoing and fashionable. He would just have to accept it. At Frankfurt, she had a 3-hour layover. She found the gate for her connecting flight. The screen said, destination Helsinki, Vantaa. She boarded the second plane. This one was smaller. As they flew north, the clouds below turned white. Olamide smiled. Snow, the sign of wealth. But when the pilot announced their descent, Olamide looked out the window. It was white, very white. But there were no skyscrapers. There was no London Eye. There were just endless trees and snow. Helsinki, she whispered, tasting the name like expensive wine. The land of milk and honey. But the moment the automatic doors of the Vantaa airport slid open, the honey turned to gall. The cold did not just touch her, it slapped her. Olamide clutched her handbag. Her teeth instantly began a rhythmic dance of their own. She walked into the arrivals hall, pushing her trolley with the elegance of a duchess, expecting a chauffeur in a tuxedo holding a sign with her stolen name. Instead, she saw him, Dr. Femi. He was not wearing the Armani suit she had imagined. He was not standing next to a Mercedes G-Wagon. Femi was dressed like an Eskimo who had just wrestled a bear. He wore a parka so thick it doubled his size, heavy trousers that looked like tarpaulin, and boots that clearly saw the battles of life. Olami Posse! Femi shouted. His face lit up with a genuine, blinding joy. He rushed forward. Olamide froze. She wanted to turn back and run into the plane, but Femi engulfed her in a bear hug. He smelled of pine wood, cold air, and something muskier, something like a goat but stronger.
Darling, you are here. But why are you shivering? I told you to bring a thicker coat. The temperature is -15 today.
-15? Where is the car? Turn on the heater, please.
The truck is outside. Welcome to Finland, my love.
The truck was a battered, reliable pickup. Olamide climbed into the high passenger seat, her heart sinking into her stomach. As they drove away from the airport, they plunged into a forest that seemed to have no end. 30 minutes passed. 1 hour passed. 2 hours.
Femi, where are the shops? The malls, the restaurants?
Oh, the city is for tourists. We are going home. The farm is in Lapland, further north. It is peaceful. Just us, the reindeer, and the huskies.
Farm? Reindeer?
Yes, I told you, didn't I? When we spoke last month, you said you couldn't wait to help me birth the calves. You said the city noise gave you headaches.
Yes. I have jet lag.
When they finally arrived at the cabin, Olamide realized that her village people had followed her to Europe without a visa. The cabin was made of logs. It was beautiful, yes, like a picture on a calendar, but it was isolated. There were no neighbors. There was no Uber. There was silence, a loud, deafening silence. Inside, it was warm thanks to a roaring fireplace, but the furniture was simple. No velvet sofas, no flat-screen TV covering the wall. Just books, wooden chairs, and rugs made from animal skin.
I have a surprise.
Thank God, finally. Here comes the diamond necklace.
One of the huskies, Luna, is pregnant and is due to deliver on Saturday. I know how much you love dogs. You can help me deliver the puppies. It will be our first bonding activity.
Olamide stared at him. She looked at her manicured nails, which she had paid 20,000 naira to fix. Bonding activity? She squeaked. That night, Olamide did not sleep on a bed of roses. Femi was a devoted Christian, so they slept in different rooms. Saturday came, and Olamide stood in a cold barn holding a flashlight while Femi walked on a panting dog. The smell was overwhelming. When Femi asked her to hold a bloody towel, she screamed and dropped it. Femi looked at her, pausing in his work.
Olamiposi, you are a nurse. You see blood every day. Why are you acting like a princess?
It is the altitude. I am feeling dizzy.
Femi finished the delivery alone, casting worried glances at his fiancée. The next days were not a honeymoon, they were an orientation for a correctional facility. Olamide, the queen of Ibadan slay queens, the duchess of Instagram, was reduced to a farmhand. At 4 a.m., the alarm clock screamed like a banshee. Femi was up instantly.
Morning devotion!
He knocked on her door. Morning devotion, he announced. Olamide groaned, pulling the duvet over her head. Can we pray on Zoom? Femi pulled the covers off.
We pray together.
We prayed
Knees
together.
on the floor.
Knees on the floor. Olamide knelt, her knees aching on the hardwood. While Femi prayed with fire and thunder, binding the spirits of the air and land, Olamide dozed off. She only woke up when Femi shouted, "Amen!" Then came the chores. Shoveling snow was not exercise, it was torture. Olamide's expensive wig, the bone straight she had stolen from her sister's box, froze into stiff icicles. But the final straw, the moment the camel's back broke, was the kitchen incident. It was Thursday evening. Femi came in from the cold, rubbing his hands.
My love, I have been craving your cooking. I haven't eaten a proper Nigerian meal in 2 years. Please, make that your special egusi soup. The one you told me your grandmother taught you.
Olamide panicked. The only thing she knew how to cook was boiling water for noodles, and even that she sometimes burnt. But she couldn't say no, not when she was this deep in the lie. "No problem, baby," she said, her voice shaking. She checked the pantry. Femi had stocked it with ingredients he ordered online at exorbitant prices. She saw the bag of egusi, melon seeds, dried stockfish, crayfish, and spinach, since there was no bitter leaf. She stared at the pots. How hard can it be? She whispered.
It's just soup.
It's just
Put
soup.
everything inside and boil.
Put everything inside and boil. And that is exactly what she did. She did not fry the palm oil. She did not soak the stockfish to soften it. She threw the raw egusi sieves into a pot of cold water, added the rock-hard stockfish, dumped in unwashed crayfish, threw in 2 whole onions because she was too lazy to chop them, and covered the pot. She cranked the heat to the highest setting and went to the living room to paint her nails. 30 minutes later, a strange smell wafted through the cabin. It didn't smell like egusi.
Dinner is served.
"Dinner is served," Olamide announced, carrying the bowl to the table. Femi sat down, ready to eat. He looked into the bowl. The soup was pale and watery. Clumps of raw egusi floated on top like islands in a flooded river. The stockfish stared back at him, hard and unyielding. The oil had separated, forming an angry red layer on top of the water. Femi slowly lowered his hand. He looked at the soup, then at Olamide.
What is this?
It is deconstructed egusi. It is how the chefs in Paris make it. It retains the vitamins.
Femi took a piece of the stockfish. He tried to break it. It clattered against the plate like a stone.
Olamiposi, you told me you cook for the whole hospital ward during celebrations. You told me cooking is your therapy.
I am adapting to the Finnish water. Why are you complaining? Do you know how hard I slaved over that stove?
Femi stood up. The warmth in his eyes was gone, replaced by the clinical, sharp gaze of a surgeon. "You don't know how to cook. You are terrified of blood. You nearly fainted when I cut my finger yesterday. You don't know the lyrics to the hymns we sang on video calls. You sleep during prayers." He walked around the table, his boots thudding softly on the wood, and stopped right behind her.
And yesterday, I saw a tattoo of a butterfly on your ankle. Olamiposi does not have a tattoo. She told me her body is the temple of the Lord. She hates needles.
Olamide stood up, her heart hammering. "People change, Femi.
People change,
I got
Femi.
it to surprise
I got it to
you.
surprise you.
Who are you?"
Who are
Femi
you?
asked. The question hung in the air, heavy and suffocating. Just as Olamide opened her mouth to lie again, Femi's phone on the table pinged. Then it pinged again and again, a rapid succession of notifications. Femi picked up the phone. He read the screen. His expression didn't change, but his knuckles turned white as he gripped the device.
It seems that the real Olamiposi has finally found a network strong enough to send an email.
Olamide's legs gave way. She collapsed onto the chair. Femi turned the screen towards her. It was a picture. A picture of Olamiposi holding a newspaper with today's date, standing in a cyber cafe in Ibadan. The caption read, "I am here. The woman with you is my twin sister. She locked me up. She is an imposter." Femi looked at Olamide with a mixture of disgust and pity.
You locked your sister in a storeroom? For a visa?
It wasn't like that. I just wanted a better life. Look at me, Femi. I am beautiful. I am finer than her. I can learn to be a nurse. I can learn to like the reindeer. Don't send me back, please. My friends will laugh at me.
You think this is about beauty? You think this is about cooking? You thought you were stealing a golden ticket. But this is what you walked into. But you didn't know the full story. Do you know why I live here? Do you know why I am in the middle of nowhere?
Because you are a vet?
Because I am hiding. I come from the Adedoyin family in Lagos.
Olamide gasped.
The Adedoyins were billionaires. They owned shipping lines and half of Victoria Island.
I hated the fake life. I hated women who only wanted me for my surname. I hated the slay queens who couldn't hold a conversation about anything other than wigs and trips to Dubai. So I came here to find peace, to find a woman who would love Femi the vet, not Femi the billionaire heir.
Olamide wished the ground would open up and swallow her.
I tested Olamiposi for 6 months. She passed every test. She loved me for me. And you? It took you 3 days to show me that you are everything I ran away from.
Femi, please. I can change. I promise.
You are right. You will change. You will change your location.
Are you calling the police? Please, Nigerian prisons are bad, but Finnish prisons, I will freeze.
I am not calling the police. That is too easy. I am sending you back to the very people you tried to impress.
The journey back was a blur of misery. Femi did not drive her to the airport. He hired a silent, large taxi driver to take her. He bought her a ticket, but not a direct one. It was a 3-stop flight with long layovers, a punishment for her. 2 days later, Olamide arrived at the Lagos airport. She looked like a mad woman. She was wearing the thick winter coat because she had no other clothes, sweating profusely in the Nigerian heat. Her makeup was smeared. She didn't have money for a taxi. She had to beg a lorry driver to take her to Ibadan. As she walked down the street leading to their compound, the sweat poured off her like rain. The local market women saw her first. Is that not Olamide? Why is she wearing a duvet in this heat? I thought she went to London to marry Prince Charles. The mockery followed her like a shadow. Welcome from abroad, the Okada riders shouted. Where is the snow? Did you bring it in your pocket? Olamide kept her head down, the heat roasting her skin, the shame roasting her soul. When she entered the compound, she saw them. Her parents were sitting on the veranda, looking stern, and sitting between them, looking radiant, was Olamiposi. She was dressed in a simple Ankara jumpsuit, but she looked like royalty. Beside Olamiposi sat a man in a sharp suit. He looked expensive. He held a briefcase. Olamide collapsed on the dusty ground, the winter coat suffocating her. Mama, Papa, sister.
Don't call me sister. A sister does not drug her blood. A sister does not lock her twin in the darkness. It was the devil. I am sorry.
The man in the suit stood up. Miss Olamide, I am Barrister Tunde, Dr. Femi's cousin and legal representative.
I have instructions to press charges for kidnapping, identity theft, and fraud.
Chill! No, Papa, beg them!
You wanted the soft life. In jail, they will give you free food and accommodation. Is that not soft?
Olamiposi approached the lawyer and placed a hand on his arm.
Barrister, wait.
Then she faced her sweating, weeping sister. The resemblance was striking, but the difference was clear. One was gold, the other was gold-plated lead.
I will ask Femi not to press charges. Thank you, Posi. On one condition, you will work. You will pay back every kobo of the flight ticket Femi wasted on you. You will work in the hospital laundry, washing bed sheets, washing uniforms, until the debt is paid.
Olamide looked at her soft hands. Laundry? But I am an influencer. You are a debtor.
Take it or go to jail.
Said. Take it or go to jail. Olamide nodded, defeated. I will wash. 3 weeks later, a sleek black SUV rolled into the compound. The neighborhood held its breath. Dr. Femi stepped out. He wasn't wearing the parka. He was wearing a white, expensive kaftan. He looked like the billionaire heir he truly was. He walked past the laundry area where Olamide was sweating, scrubbing a stained bedsheet. She looked up, her eyes wide with regret. Femi didn't even pause. He didn't see her. To him, she was just part of the scenery.
He walked straight to Olamiposi, who was waiting on the porch.
I am sorry it took long. I had to resign from the clinic. I'm moving back to Nigeria. I have been offered a position in a research center in Abuja.
Olamiposi smiled.
Welcome home, Femi.
And the sun seemed to shine brighter. Welcome home,
Welcome home,
Femi.
Femi.
Olamiposi and Femi were married in a grand ceremony. Olamide was there, but she was not on the bridal train. She was at the back, serving food to the guests. And every time someone asked her, Olamide, when are you going abroad? She would shake her head and say,
My sister, leave that abroad matter. Nigeria is sweet. There is no snow in Ibadan.